And we're back with the reviews. What's up, everybody? Continuing with my request. Shout out to L Kane 22. I believe I saw a comment for it wanting me to review this album, and the album I'm about to review today. By the way, Isaac Hayes, A Few More Kisses to Go, off the Don't Let Go album he dropped back in 1979. That was like one of his most successful albums to date. The album we're doing today is Mariah Carey's Daydream, 1995, on Columbia Records. You know, I already mentioned Mariah Carey. I've talked about 3 of her albums. The Emancipation of Mimi, which I thought was a very good album, a classic album in my opinion. I talked about her Rainbow album. I kind of gave that album a mixed reception. And I just did a review on her first album, her self-titled first album, which I thought was a classic album. This is actually her 5th studio album, and you know, by the early 90s, Mariah Carey was one of the best R&B singers at her time. Like, she was definitely at her prime. So she dropped her first album, Mariah Carey, 1990. Very successful album, very good album right there. 1 year later, she dropped the Emotions album, which was like an album she was kind of influenced by Motown music, so it kind of had like that Motown feel to it. That album had some good songs in it too. I haven't really heard the album yet. I have a couple tracks on it. But I also know there was some controversy because I believe she had stage fright around that time, and she didn't really tour. She didn't go on a tour. So you gotta understand the early 90s, people were overcome from that Milli Vanilli controversy when they didn't really sing on their records. So a lot of people question Mariah Carey sang on her records too. So in 1993, she dropped Music Box. Oh wait, hold on. She actually dropped in 1992. She had an MTV Unplugged album where she did a cover of the Jackson 5 song "I'll Be There." 1 year later, she dropped the Music Box album, which was very, very, very good album, very successful album. Like, that was like very popish, you know, had songs like Dream, Lover, what's that one other song? Songs like that. That album had another mixed reception from critics too. And oh yeah, the song Hero. And that song was a very successful song, very inspirational. And although it had a mixed reception from critics, Music Box actually went up to be one of the most successful albums of all time. This album sold about 32 million copies to date. And so, fast forward to 1994, she dropped her first Christmas album, Merry Christmas. And that album right there was very successful too. It had like her cover of Oh Holy Night, which was very critically acclaimed. And by around this time, she really wanted to have more creative direction in the music. She wanted to mix urban R&B with hip hop, because if you listen to like her early recordings, it had more of like a pop-ish kind of sound to it, because that's what Tommy Mottola wanted. And so she has some creative differences and falling outs with him. You know, they were married and all that. And so 1994, you got this album right here, Daydream. Alright, okay, so singles album is known for Fantasy, One Sweet Day, Open Arms, which was a cover of the Journey song, Always Be My Baby, Forever and Underneath the Stars. And producers on this Mariah Carey, Walter Afenisa, Dave Hall, Jermaine Dupri, Manuel Seal, David Morales, and Babyface. You know, very dope album right here. And the only guest appearance on this album are Boys to Men. This album actually experiences some controversy too, and I'll get into that in a moment. So you guys know how I usually get down with these CDs. I'm gonna review them. Track number 1, Fantasy. Okay, now this is a very, very classic song right here. This song was like up tempo. I love that Tom Tom Club sample that she used. That sample right there, whew. And like, this is like when she really loved loved the creative freedom she was getting with her songs and things of that nature. And she and Dave Hall actually produced this song. Now I can't talk about this song without talking about the remix. The remix she did with Oddity Bastard, and Puffy produced that song. Like, that song, like the remix to Fantasy, was one of the most boldest moves she ever did in her career. Like, cause she was always a fan of Wu-Tang Clan. Like, I read some, like she was always a fan of like hip hop or Wu-Tang Clan in general, and she always wanted to work with them. So she hooked up with ODB, and they came out with a remix. My opinion though, I really love the remix more than the original version. I guess that's just because I'm a Wu-Tang fan, I guess. Okay, track number 2, Underneath the Stars. Now, this is probably my favorite song off this whole album. I know you guys weren't expecting this song to be my favorite song. I love like the style she used for this song. Like it has like that mid-70s soulful sound to it. Like you can tell she was influenced by like Natalie Cole and Minnie Riperton. And Minnie Riperton is actually her main inspiration when it comes to singing, especially like when Minnie Riperton used those high notes. Like, you guys should know what I mean. Rest in peace to Minnie Riperton though. Very underrated R&B singer. And so, from what else I heard? I heard that when she originally wanted this song to be on her number 1's greatest hits album, which came out in 1999. I have the album in my collection too, but like the label wanted her to record 4 new songs, and she didn't like the fact that Columbia wanted her to record new songs for the greatest hits album, because she felt like greatest hits album should be like the artist's favorite hits, not the ones that make the most money. Think about that artist. That's kind of artist. Track number 3, One Sweet Day, featuring Boys to Men. Everybody knows this song right here. This is a it's a classic soul song. This song is basically a tribute to David Cole of C&C Music Factory. Yes, that group, like, they made a song Everybody Dance Now. He died, I think, I forgot the disease he died from though, but basically the song's about losing a loved one and seeing them one sweet day. This song right here will just move people to tears though. Believe it or not, it's actually the longest running number 1 song in the history of the Billboard chart, so it's no surprise there. This song has a huge effect on people. Track number 4, Open Arms. This is the song that's a cover of the Journey song off the 1981 album Escape. If you guys know who Journey is, they made that. They're like an 80s, late 70s, early like 80s new wave rock group, and the lead singer Steve Perry, everyone knows who he is. They made that song, Don't Stop Believing. Yes, they did make that song. And a little trivia on this song too, because Journey and Mariah Carey, they kind of like go together. See, the band's drummer Steve Smith, he was known for playing drums on some of Mariah Carey's earliest singles. She came out with like the early 90s. And the bassist of the group worked with Mariah Carey for like a long time though. And another thing about this album too, this song too, this song is actually, it has, in the Spain edition of this album, excuse me, it has like the Spanish version of this song in Spain. So this is a very dope cover, you know. I never thought like anybody can pull off a Journey song like that, because I've heard many people sing Don't Stop Believing, and most of them sound like they're choking while they're singing. I'm sorry. Okay, track number 5, Always Be My Baby. This is like another dope song, another successful single. Jermaine Dupri actually he produced this song too. By the way though, hold up. The premix he did with she did with the Pratt and Escape. Check that remix out. That's actually a very dope remix. I love that SOS band sample that he used. And another thing about Jermaine Dupri too, this is around the time when he was at his prime. Like you have like 90s and like the early 2000s. He has some of my favorite beats. The mid 2000s, you know, some of his beats kind of sound a bit too repetitive in my opinion, but that's just my opinion though. Anyway, Always Be My Baby, it just always has that feeling. This basically talks about one night saying unity with your lover, and always close to the lover who is far away from you. That's another thing about this album too. Focus a lot more on the ballads. Like whenever Mariah Carey sings a ballad, like it's always very like, you know, she's always taken to a special place when she sings a song like around this time. The song actually became her 11th chart topper on the Hot 100, and it tied her up with Madonna and Whitney Houston for #1 singles as a female artist. So that says a lot about Mariah. Track number 6, I Am Free. Very good song. It's an introspective song. Track number 7, When I Saw You. Another good song right there. Track number 8, Long Ago. I love that the intro bass to that song. It reminded me of something you would hear from Mary J. Blige's My Life. Like, you know, if you heard that album, you know that song kind of has that same similar sound to that album. Like, and this song has like some of the most, it's like atmospheric like lyrics from Mariah Carey. You know, very like some of my favorite lyrics off the song are like, loving words and fairy tales that I long to hear. I gave you my body and soul, and you took control. Like other lyrics, like some of my other favorite lyrics off the song are like, this last lyric always struck me, like, long ago you used to want me, now it's all so far away. Now it's all so far away, but you still haunt me and take me back to yesterday. Like, gives you that chilling aspect to the song. Like you never really know like Mariah would go that far, you know. Track number, damn it, where am I at? Track number 9, I believe, yeah. Melt Away. Very soothing song. Like, it just talks about that. The song basically talks about like a crush you have. Like, everyone kind of relates to the song. Like, say you have that crush, and every time you see him or her in that matter, like, you always get that feeling like you just want to melt away whenever you hear her voice. And the way, like, she flips her hair, the way she smiles at you, the way her eyes look at you. I'm getting off topic at the moment. And this type of song you listen to, like, if you have a girl with you and you invite her and you have like a little bubble bath, you know, this type of song you want to listen to, stuff like that. Track number 10, Forever. A very good song. And like, see, this is another one of those like ballads, kind of like long ago. This ballad's like forever means she knows that the lover is like far away, but she always carries a love forever, if you know what I mean, though. Track number 11, Daydream Interlude, the Fantasy Suite dub mix. David Morales produced that one. You know, that's a dope remix too. And track number 12, Looking In. That's a good way to close the whole album, in my opinion. And that's the whole album. This is a classic album right here. This is like, I don't blame the whole acclaim this album got. A lot of people call this album of the year. Like, everybody praised this whole album. But as I said in the earlier part of this whole vid, this album experienced some controversy. See, this is why I don't like the Grammys like that. This album was nominated for 6 awards. 6 awards, you know. And guess what? It lost all 6 awards, you know what I'm saying? And one of the awards it lost to Hootie and the Blowfish. Yep, Hootie and the Blowfish. They gave him a Grammy to Hootie and the Blowfish, but they didn't give a Grammy to like Mariah Carey's. I believe it was One Sweet Day was nominated, I believe. You see how oh damn. And I believe Mariah Carey was deeply disappointed about that album because she didn't really perform the Grammys until like the Emancipation of Mimi. And that was like 10 years later, so that's crazy. And like, and now I'm getting off topic, but other than that, Mariah Carey's Daydream is hands down an album I would recommend to anybody. R&B, hip hop, a little bit jazz, you know what I'm saying? And this is the very dope, probably my favorite album from Mariah Carey. And Mariah Carey, you know, she's a very influential R&B artist. I mean, I still bump to Mariah Carey time after time, but I'm not really a fan of a lot of her newest stuff, but I still got respect for Mariah though. And you know, what else I have to say about this album? Once I get this album, I'm gonna get this album soon, so stay tuned for that. And on one of my CD collections. And this is MC Reg signing off to you guys. Peace.